Okay, I do not own the rights to the music here again, but hey, this is part two of the previous video. Just continuing it here. Got interrupted. Just to recap, this will be like a much shorter version, condensed of the previous. The other one, if you want a longer explanation of what I'm looking at here, go to the previous video. Go check out the chat channel, Education for Beginners. There's some breakdowns of trend and range as well. So here's a range we're talking about. So again, you get a low, you get a high in price. What starts to happen is a ceiling is formed there with the highs, because you have a high, the high that's respected. This high is not higher than this high. Okay, and we'll use a highlighter. And this high is not higher than that high as well. So what we see is over time, right? As time goes on, because this is Thursday into Friday. As time goes on, we're seeing that there's a ceiling forming. And then, wait a second, that high, this high is higher than this high. So now price came back into the ceiling, and we see we did the same thing. We sold out, right? We came into the ceiling. This high is not higher than either of these highs. And what happened? It runs into that ceiling and sells off. And this is, I mean, right at open. This is perfect opportunity for a quick sell side, day trade, whatever. But anyways, I'm not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes. In the previous video as well, I am not a licensed financial advisor. It's not licensed to be sold as information, for specifically trading advice. This is how I trade. This is strictly my opinion, and do with that what you will. So highs, lows as well, right? So lows, same thing, right? That what happens is this random day, Thursday, after an amazing sell-off that day, we see a low created in the market, and then as time goes on, it's like, oh, even that day we respected this low. Even in pre-market of the next day, we respected this low until price takes it out, right? And we get a new low, what we would call a manipulated low, an outlier, right? Something outside of the general floor. Excuse me, I was going to say ceiling. Floor, the support, okay? That is forming, that we start to see over time forming. And obviously hindsight is 2020. Like the lows that are over here, for example, right, hadn't happened. They hadn't occurred yet. But what we do see is they do the same thing as the highs, right? Even if there's a new low created, we came back to some sort of floor, respected it. And if there's little outliers, the question to ask, did we take out previous lows? Did we create new manipulations, new outliers, new lows, essentially? And no. The reason I have the throw up emoji on there is for that reason entirely. These are not good places to take sell side. Just because we fall below the invisible floor, okay, that you have to make visible, it doesn't mean we should take sells, which doesn't mean we should take puts, right? And obviously I can't tell you what to take, but me personally, I would not take any sells there. So and why because we hadn't taken out previous lows. We're not seeing probably anything. We already had huge sell-off right before as well, right? Even though it didn't take out this low. So anyways, key things here for a range: you got your lows, highs. When those get taken out, you get manipulated lows, manipulated highs, new highs and lows. Over time though, what's happening is you're still creating a range. You're creating some sort of trading range that can be respected again and again and again for trades, right? For trades. The fact that we reclaim the floor here, the support, it could be your signal, right? It might be mine. I can't tell you without being there at that day and time whether I would take the trade. But what I can tell you is that's what I see. Is this would be a good opportunity in my opinion to take that, and it looks like price continue to respect higher lows all day, which is awesome. That's what you want to see. Until we get that lower high. It didn't take out this high, and that's going to be probably a sign to exit the trade if you didn't already, right? That high. Long story short, we get those opportunities once we're able to identify the range, right? The highs, the lows, the support, the resistance, which is again floor, ceiling. The 50% is one that I will say is up to you to really decide, I guess, where you want to put it, because you could put a 50% there from this high to this low, your true high and low of this range really now, right? Since no low had taken this out, no high had taken this out, this entire chain of 3 days once we created them. you could use those to find your 50%. And again, 50%, what is that? It's just where is the halfway mark between that high and that low, or the halfway mark, how I like to find it, between the support and resistance, the generalized, the average of all your highs and lows, manipulations or not. Where's your ceiling? Where's your floor? Where's your resistance? Where's your support? And you'll be able to identify that 50% and again, use that as further confirmation for your buy bias, for your sell bias, whatever you're seeing. Again, right? Because I can't tell you what to do, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. And so, what I found within this range, like we just discussed there on the previous video, I think a little bit, is upside entry. Off the 50%. There's a 50%. Could use that as your entry. I've used a lower high in pre-market that I was like, if we hold above there, we should be able to go higher, especially if we hold the 50%. So it's like kind of double confirmation there. And then really we got true confirmation, which is a close above and retest, and that's what's in the orange circle there. Is the close above of that candle, of this first candle, the retest, which is this wick on this second candle, and then we have as we look further, more retests. We closed below our upside level, but we didn't retest below it, right? There's no wicks underneath our upside level at that point, just wicks lower. But again, it's not like the top of any candles retesting or testing lower, meaning we didn't get confirmation underneath our upside, which is great. Price just came back to close above, retest again, even that 50% there. Look at that perfect entry, close above, retest for continuation to take out high a day, create a new high a day. And at that point, right, manipulated high, it takes out the previous highs. I'm probably going to close profit. Like this, assuming we get up here in the first place, this is the area to take profit, like all of this, because there's no guarantee we hold above here, which clearly we didn't for long. There's no guarantee that we even take out this manipulated high. That could have been our previous high, and we could have just done what we did here, barely take out this high, not take this high out, and sell just like we did, right? So again, you have to identify yourself where you want to exit. That's how I would do it. I would look at that and say, hey, personally, I already took entry, right? I'm up however X amount percent, I'm closing here, I'm done, I'm out. No guarantee we continue higher, no guarantee we fill more of this sell side imbalance. We'll talk about imbalances in the future if we haven't already in a one-on-one or something with me, but that's a trading range, okay? I just tried to number it, but anyways, you can find those key things, low, high, new lows, new low highs, but for the most part, the general scenario is we're within some type of range. There's a respected ceiling, there's a respected floor. For the most part, it's only within like these short spurts of time, short bursts, spurts, whatever of time, that we're like out of that range, slightly. And the key thing, if we're outside of that floor or ceiling that you've drawn, is how long are we out there for, and what are we doing, right? Like, what are we doing? Did we take out our previous manipulated low when we were right here? Of course not. We did not take out this low, right? So it's like, are these good entries? Probably not. We're not getting any type of like real break out of our range. All we're doing is maybe, just testing that low to continue higher, just like it exactly did. It came back to respect support, even though you could call that confirmation, right? Like we closed below and retested the support, whatever. The truth is, what did we do after that, right? We didn't take out these lows. So like, I wouldn't have taken entry there unless I was, seeing something else that made me confident. But the truth is, right before that, in terms of market structure, which we've definitely talked about, if you're in a one-on-one with me, we've talked about market structure. And I've got a video on market structure coming. I don't think I've posted it yet, but this is a previous high, right? Like it took out structure previously. So I wouldn't really even be looking for more sells there. I would be looking to see if the low that gave us that high, which is this low, if that's going to get respected, and it did. And that's why there's a small buy position you could have taken here. From any of these lows, you could have held through the end of the day for small, quick day trade profits on calls. That's what we're seeing here, is some upside, a climb of about from our support, $2.30. Like definitely a solid move. And then obviously, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about this position here, though. It's the last thing we'll talk about in this video, part 2. So on Tuesday, the 16th of July, we had essentially perfect entry today. This is today. So we had an amazing opportunity. What I did is I went ahead and I found some key levels in pre-market, and the key levels were really simple. All I did was take what I believe to be, I think these were equal highs on like the 1 minute time frame somewhere over here, and they were already swept. Why am I looking for the time? There we go. So there's something over here that I found as our upside level. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was just, resistance. I think it was just resistance. Okay, so not equal highs even. I think it was just resistance. The fact that we had some type of kind of level in there. Price kind of ran up to here, rejected, ran up, rejected in pre-market. So I was like, okay, that's kind of something. Let's use it. Probably not the best, honestly, because it doesn't really even correlate with the range. But the upside doesn't really matter because we're not looking at that. You know, it's just if we hold above, you know, that level, confirm, we could take out pre-market high and then go to take out the manipulated high and continue higher. And based on that structure, again, from this low to that high, I mean, that's internal minor structure. That's bullish. That is bullish, you know, in this little run up because we did break structure. And so we're looking for a bounce, which we kind of got yesterday, the day prior at the end before close. God bless you. God bless you. And so we're looking for basically these lows in here to hold as well so that we can see continuation. We found a trend line as well from the manipulated low, the new low of the range, and just connected it to the low day from yesterday, from Monday. And so it goes, again, Friday low connected to Monday's lows. And then we see here on Tuesday, it's like not really giving us anything special until we get down there. But it's good to watch because we break that, and that's where we get our real rip. But yeah, so anyways, I found the low from, I believe, equal lows. That's what it was. And as we see, I'll use an arrow. Yeah, look at that. All those equal 453.12, 453.12. So if this bullish liquidity, basically, if this bullish equal lows doesn't hold, if we hold it as resistance instead of support like we were doing in pre-market, then that might be a signal that we could sell lower. And at that point, there was these equal lows at 451.90 that had not been taken out. These equal lows at 451.60 had not been taken out. So price could have sold. Those are our price targets, as you can see, which we did hit. And we're in profit, right, on put entry positions, right? And again, not financial advice. This is just how I would take it, how I look for it, and what I would do. And those equal lows got swept as well. So long story short, it was really easy to find some levels upside and downside in pre-market. I didn't think about it too much, and I found, you know, something that makes sense within the range to target other prices within the range, around the range, right? Whatever it is, if not directly inside the range, then around the range, literally the highs and lows, right? So that was Microsoft there for today. That was a quick recap of range. Let me know if you need a one-on-one. I know that was a lot. But God bless and have a good one.